Hey guys, Coach T here from TD Fitness, and this is my gift to you, a simple mindset shift for a truly healthy life. And I think it's that important. So I want you to listen to this. I want you to listen to it over and over again if you need to. Listen to it in the future, refer back to it, because this is possibly some of the most important advice that I can give you. And I'll start by saying that change isn't easy. I know that, right? And much of what I talk about, much of what I offer through this forum is ways that you can affect some positive change in your life, largely through health and fitness, but sometimes through general life advice as well. And I see that as part of my role as a coach, whether it's a health coach or you prefer to use the term life coach. When we think about the difficulty of making positive, healthy changes in our lives, we tend to look at those changes through a different lens than we do with other things. So, for example, we have children, acknowledging the fact that it's going to be difficult, right? I mean, we know that raising a family, having children will be difficult, at least for 18 years at a minimum, right? But that doesn't really stop us, because there's inherent joy in raising children. By the way, I just completed a book written by Jennifer Servant titled All Joy and No Fun: The Paradox of Modern Parenting. Highly recommended. But back to my examples. Another example, we look for and start a new job, for example, knowing that there will be a steep learning curve and that it will be difficult, at least in the beginning. But the payoff is maybe added income or a better quality of life. At least the thought of those things, that's what gets us through that difficult period. And to use an exercise example, and I'm stealing this from an example that Seth Godin used in a recent podcast I listened to. You know, no one thinks that running a marathon is easy. It's going to be difficult. And no one instructs on how to run a marathon without getting tired. It's an accepted fact that you will get tired when you complete a marathon. But that doesn't prevent people from running marathons. They figure out how to deal with that tiredness, how to work through it, because the truth is that you can't simulate going 26.2 miles on your feet. You have to actually do it to get the t-shirt, to get the medal. Now, so does all that mean that if we know that these things like these are going to be difficult, does that mean that we shouldn't do difficult things, that we should avoid them? Of course it doesn't. I mean, we recognize and accept that there are inherent difficulties with many things that we voluntarily do, whether it's the choice to have children, the choice to start a new job, or to run a marathon. Yet, when it comes to losing weight, practicing healthy habits, exercising regularly, even getting adequate rest, the difficult and default response is, what's the easiest way to get there? Because I don't want to deal with the difficulty. So I'll find that shortcut that I am sure exists. So why don't we accept the difficult, and I'll put that in air quotes because this difficulty is largely perceived, in my opinion, and I'll show you why I say that in a bit. But why don't we accept the difficult approach of doing what needs to be done to live healthier? So here's the nugget of this episode, and frankly, something that we all need to come to terms with when we talk about improving ourselves in any capacity. What's important here is the story that we continuously tell ourselves. It's a fundamental, far-reaching, and deep problem that I'm not going to solve in a 20-minute podcast, but I want you to think about this concept. I mean, really think about it. The stories we tell ourselves, things like, I haven't been successful at losing weight before. Being overweight is just in my genes. I don't have time to work out. There's too much to do, so I don't want to spend more time getting rest. I'm too stressed. I lack motivation. I need help. The ironic thing is that all of these statements may be true. In fact, they are true because these are the things that we tell ourselves. And if we believe it, then it's true to us. But the question is, what are we going to do about it? Will you maintain the status quo or just accept it and move on? See, that's the difference between people that make change happen and those that remain stuck in the same place. To use another Seth Godin reference, it's the difference in what he refers to as the and versus but mentality. So if we stick with our previous examples, I want to have kids, but it will be difficult. That becomes, I want to have kids and it will be difficult. It's a simple mindset shift and a subtle change. Another example, I want to move to a new job, a better position, but it'll be hard. That then becomes, I want to move to a new job and a better position and it will be a challenge. And then finally, I want to live healthier, or insert any healthy living example there, right? I want to live healthier, but it's too hard. That then becomes, I want to live healthier and it will require some work. Here's the thing. It doesn't require the amount of work that you think, okay? That's just an aside, but I'll talk more on that in just a little bit. You know, there are basically 3 types of services that we've chosen to focus on here with TD Fitness. One is triathlon training plans for complete beginners. And the reason I do that is not just because I want you to exercise. It's because when you are able to accomplish something that you had no idea you could do, it is so empowering. The story that you tell yourself changes for every other challenge that you encounter from that point on. Another service my wife and I have chosen to focus on through TD Fitness is pre and postnatal training. Yes, because there's a healthy pregnancy aspect to that, right? I mean, healthy pregnancy is key in a healthy birth experience, a healthy child, and a healthy mom. But we also do this because we know that the time leading up to and after birth can be some of the most unnerving, fearful, and difficult times of a mother's life. And expectant mothers and fathers, for that matter, ask questions like, how will I be as a parent? Can I handle it? Am I up to the task? So if we can help prepare mothers and families during this most vital and vulnerable time in a woman's life, it's an honor to be able to do that, because believing that you can will make you able. Again, it's the story that we tell ourselves. And then finally, the reason why I created the Fit Life program. Okay, newsflash, it's not just to make you healthier. It's so that you can move from saying but to saying and. So you can stop saying, I would eat better, but it's too hard for me. Or I would exercise regularly, but I don't have time to. Or I would get healthier, but it's too hard. So I go back to my opening comment. Change is hard. And my follow-up question, what are you going to do about that fact? So as you move forward through the year and in the years to come, if you don't take anything else from what I offer, I want you to remember this. Remember that you are more capable than you think. And your forward progress, that change that you seek, whether it's in fitness or work or family or life, that change begins with accepting where you are, deciding to change, and then believing that you can. Hope and the belief that you can are the most powerful earthly things that you can have in your corner. So before I go, to make good on my promise, I said I'd elaborate quickly on how healthy living is not actually as difficult as you think. If you're looking for a not hard but doable solution to living healthier, if you're looking for a healthy lifestyle rather than overnight results that won't endure, then you can find out more at my Fit Life program page, fitlifeprogram.com. And if you found any value in this episode, please share it. I want as many people to gain benefit here as possible. Also, give me a like or leave a comment or rate this episode or the podcast, however you show love, depending on whether you're watching or listening this. I'd appreciate it. The show notes for this episode can be found at tdfitness.net/065. Thanks for listening, guys. I'm Coach T. This is TD Fitness, and you are capable.